Hello, good morning. This is Natalia Formella speaking, LinkedIn. A great pleasure to conduct this session for you just for Luxoft in terms of Luxoft Success Accelerator program. This is just an exclusive program we are offering, we as a LinkedIn to Luxoft. And this session will be dedicated to Boolean search. My name is Natalia Formella, and I'm a Customer Success Manager at LinkedIn. I am dedicated to you, Luxoft. So the session I'm going to conduct today is tailored just for you. So people that we have today on this session were selected as we are monitoring your performance on a daily basis and also on a monthly basis. This is how we came up with this program, and this is how we came up with this exact session. I'm a Customer Success Manager, so I'm responsible for your success with LinkedIn Talent Solutions. It means that I am responsible for conducting trainings and drawing roadmap for this and the next year, just to let you know what you have already in your tools and how you can maximize the usage with the tools you already have. So as you can see, the trainings I'm conducting, they are dedicated to very different topics: LinkedIn Recruiter, effective search, emails, employer branding, and more. Basically, I'm covering, and I'm product specialist. I'm responsible for LinkedIn Recruiter and the sponsor job wrapping, and career page. So if you're facing any problems, like learning problems, or you feel that you have any learning gaps, the right place to be right now, because we're gonna help you, myself and LinkedIn, to learn more about product that you are currently using and how you can use this act even more efficiently. So that's what I prepared for you for today. We're gonna talk about Boolean search, the most powerful search on LinkedIn. Before we go to Boolean as such, I just have few slides dedicated to your audience. I just want to make sure that you all know who your audience is on LinkedIn, so just few slides on this. Then going to move to Boolean. I will share the search essentials, so you're going to know and you're going to learn what you have in terms of Boolean, how you can use this properly. We got about how to organize your work and how you can collaborate, how you can use your project more effectively, how Boolean search can help you with that. So then we will move to next steps with your Boolean strings, because this is actually just the beginning. So I will show you how to actually use Boolean strings and how to be even more successful with them. I will share with you the best practices. So I will talk about 3 Boolean strategies. So this, I hope, will help you also to identify the best talents on LinkedIn and use this Boolean search strings more effectively. And last but not least, 5 insights and Q&A. The session will last about 45 minutes, so 45 minutes about my talking, and I dedicated about 15 minutes for Q&A. There will be a huge Q&A session at the end, but also I will stop just in the middle of this session. So please write down your questions and remember the questions, so we will pick them up in the middle of the session as well as at the end of the session. Please send your questions into the chat box, and this is how we're going to communicate, because today's session is recorded and I just simply want to really organize the session well. I know that there are so many people attending this session from different countries. So my huge thank you, first of all, for being here today with me this Friday morning. And I hope you're going to get a lot of insights, very useful insights that you can use even today or on Monday. The agenda for today, guys. We're in terms of Luxoft Success Accelerator program. So this is the program dedicated only to Luxoft. So I just simply also want to give you a big picture of this program, so you all know why we are here and why it's so special. First of all, it's special because it's just for you, just for Luxoft. That's why there are no other participants on this call, on this session. So if you want, you can ask your question very direct, and you can simply talk to me. My name is Natalia, so you can talk to me by Natalia. It's absolutely, I'm absolutely comfortable with this. And I am here to support you as Luxoft, as your performance. So in terms of the program that we tailored for you, this is about tailored webinars. And this is training that I'm conducting right now. The entire program started in August with our kickoff call with with LinkedIn management and your management, as well as all participants, all recruiters from Luxoft. We're now in November, so I'm going to show you that where we are at the moment, what already happened. So we already conducted a few webinars for you guys. It's more upcoming, so that's another good news. And from late December and early January, we're going to start ad hoc training. So whenever you feel that the session that we provided before are not sufficient, I'm also here to support you with this request. So we can organize additional sessions for different units. What I want also to make you sure and make you aware that I'm here not here just to conduct the trainings, but also I monitor your KPIs on a daily basis and monthly basis. So basically, during the entire program, I'm also monitoring your KPIs and your performance. So identifying people who might need some additional training, or which insight or which best practices can help you most. Good news, between February and 2018, there will be a certification, and we're going to nominate dashboard champions. The best of you, LinkedIn champions from all business units will be nominated for the free of charge certification for LinkedIn Recruiter. This certification costs usually $200, but it will be granted for you for free, only to dashboard to champions, LinkedIn champions. In terms of the scores, because I've mentioned that I am monitoring your scores on a monthly basis. This is what happened in September. This is what happened in October. That's the percentage that the LRI score. It stands for LinkedIn Recruiter Index. So this is how we measure you and how we see you performing against your competitors. And the aim is just to deliver the score and increase the score to 63% minimum. That's our plan till March 2018, and the happy news is also that the best champions of LinkedIn Recruiter, all Luxoft business units will be invited for certification that will be absolutely free of charge. Okay, so that's the background. Let's come back to today's session. I just got one more question about how we can become a champion. So basically, if you want to become a champion, it's about your performance. So if you use LinkedIn Recruiter on a daily basis, if you are using advanced search, if organizing your work with projects, clipboards, if you contact many candidates and your response rate is high. So if your performance is high in all this field that I am showing you at the moment, so find, organize, contact, collaborate, and post. If you are very effective, if you use advanced technologies and advanced strategies, and I'm talking about one of them today, Boolean search, then I became a champion, and we measure your results on monthly. So we see the percentage you have at the moment, and the best performers from each business unit will be granted a fantastic option to get the LinkedIn Recruiter certification for free. So please also contact your country directors, because they are also aware about this program and also monitoring your performance. I am sending the reports to your country directors and your HR director every month. So this is how we're gonna select the best of you. Okay, this is the LinkedIn Recruiter Circle. So this is everything what you need to know about LinkedIn Recruiter. It's about finding the right people. It's about organizing your work within the projects. It's contacting your prospects, collaborating with your colleagues, and if you have this possibility to also post a job. So I cover Boolean search today, and Boolean is actually about these three components. So of course, this is fine because this is the search strategy. But I just also want to encourage you to organize your work with Boolean search, because this is how you can be even more efficient, and this is how you can increase your final performance score. As well as about collaboration, because if this Boolean search string is saved, you can also share this colleagues, and you can work on some project together. So that's why Boolean search is all about this free components. I'm gonna start with just brief introduction who you really attract with your Boolean string. I know a lot of people on the culture that also want to make sure that you all know that at the moment we at LinkedIn have more than 500 million members. So this is a huge, powerful platform where you can use a lot of candidates from different regions. And I know that you are sourcing in the different regions and the continents. That is so powerful for you guys. LinkedIn members, all these 500 members, is that we divide them into active and passive candidates. So what you need to know is actually here on this screen, on this slide. 65% of candidates, they are so-called passive candidates. So it means that they are not actively looking for a job. It means that they are satisfied with the current job, as you can see, for example, from the orange color. You can see that they are passive. However, if you look into that color, they're open to chat with recruiters, but again, they are not actively looking and searching for any job possibilities. Or this greenish color, they are not looking for a job, but chatting with their close network about new opportunities. And just 25%, they are so-called active candidates. So these are people already waiting for you, or already sending some emails just to get more information about open vacancies. So also talking about your industry and about the vacancies you are hiring for, please remember that your candidates, they are passive. So it's not a bad news. Because it doesn't mean that they are not open for any new job. It's just that you need to put more effort to get them board, to get them interested in your job. But I guess you know this because you talk to these people on a basis, to your candidates. Remember this, that most of LinkedIn members, they are passive candidates. Main message I want to really send to you right now. How you can appeal to the passive members? Well, because mostly you're gonna collaborate with the passive candidates, as I mentioned, because of the industry you work. It's also connected with the niche job that you are searching for. I mean that there's a huge high demand for Java developers, for engineers. That's why the candidates you're gonna find on LinkedIn, they will be most likely the passive ones. So these are my suggestions. What you can do still attract these passive candidates. So make connections, stay connected, endorse people, publish content. That's very important. Show people that you're an expert on some field, because they're gonna like it. Follow specific companies or influencers. Just please use some of the suggestions. I don't mean that you need all of them to really implement just after this call. Absolutely not. I just want to show you this slide that you have so many possibilities really to attract best candidates on LinkedIn, and these are just the examples. I mentioned a short introduction into the audience, because this is who you're going to attract with your Boolean search. Now I will go into search essentials, and we're going to focus on Boolean. So good 5 Boolean modifiers. So for the quotation marks, the first Boolean modifier, and you're gonna need this modifier if you want to search for exact phrase. And this is a bit tricky because and narrow your search results. To or, that is expanding your search results. I will give you just a brief description of each of this modifier, and then I will visualize this modifiers to you in a minute in my next slides. So I hope this will be more clear to you, if it's not at the moment. If you want to use not modifier, the not modifier gonna exclude terms from your search and combine criteria and operations. So you have the 5 Boolean modifiers. They work similar to Microsoft Excel. So basically, if you want to put a comment and you want to build long string, search string, everything what you can use. Just all these 5 elements, nothing more. You have examples how to narrow and how you expand search and how you can exclude different terms. Now I'm going to show you just an example or visualize this modifiers to you. They will be even more clear right now. Started to talk about quotes. So quotation marks, as I mentioned before, they are here to help you search for an exact phrase. Like in this case, for example, project manager. So if you are searching for a project manager, this is what you're going to see. This is going to be your results. You can circle and just the result project manager. I think that this is clear. So these are the quotes. And modifier. So and, as I mentioned, is a bit tricky because and now your search results. Imagine that we have absolutely the same phrase, just project manager. We want to type this phrase in this order, project and manager. So the result you're going to see on LinkedIn will be just this piece, as you can see in the middle, as and limits your results to the intersection of the both terms. So this is and narrow your search results, because if you use 2 terms or if you use 2 different criteria, and we'll just show you the results that are the intersection of the both terms. I wish this graph show you how the results look like. So this can help you to understand what the results are when you're using this Boolean modifiers. So that's Boolean modifier and narrows your search results. This modifier it's or. Remember or expand your search results. So imagine we have absolutely the same phrase. It's project manager, but we put or in the middle. So this is project or manager. So if or expand your search, it means that if you're putting Boolean modifier, it's gonna search for you the project or manager. So as you can see, you're gonna have more and more results available in your LinkedIn tool. Expanding your search. And not modifier. So not exclude terms from your search. So again, the same phrase project, not manager. So what you're going to see in LinkedIn Recruiter will be project, but not manager. So as you can see, small piece of project will be excluded from your results. So that's how you are also you can narrow your search by excluding some terms or some criteria from your search. So this is how you can actually narrow your search by excluding the terms from your search. And this is the fire note. But remember that it works simply like a map. If you want to use them, just look at this screen. Simply that you need to remember your classes for maths, and it's absolutely the same here on LinkedIn if you want to use the parentheses. So basically you have some examples below. If you want to use a parenthesis, it will look like this. If you're using this or modifier or modifier, so this is something that you need to close within your parentheses. So this is correct. This is not correct. The second is not correct. That I sent to you after this few slides is that you need to remember that when you use Boolean search, it works like a simple math. And you have 5 modifiers to use. Some narrow your search, and some of them expand your search. And you can always look into the graphs, and you can always look into the search I just showed to you a few minutes ago to remind yourself which stands for narrowing and which stands for expanding your search. again, I'm providing you a few examples just to give you even bigger picture of the Boolean search. So I will show you with these examples, you need to determine the order of your operations. Again, if you have multiple criteria like or, because or expand your search, please put this criteria into parentheses. So for example, nurse or technician, you are adding additional criteria to your search, for example, surgery. And an example, it's more for you guys, for Luxoft. So you can use your Boolean string for search in terms of the job title. Like for example here, using keywords. So in this case, it's programmer or engineer or developer or coder. So basically, this is just one criteria. So in this piece, we are looking for a job title using different words, using different keywords, but still looking for the same candidates, still looking for the same skill set. And for example, by adding not, you will exclude interns. Summing up, looking at the example too, with the parentheses, you want to organize the operation. That's the first. If you want to expand your search, use or modifier. So how you can add more keywords, you can add more job titles, but still in the same frames, in the frames of the same job title, like in this case. But if you have already identified all these people that you are looking for, still use a modifier that will help you to narrow your search. So you are focusing on these people, but you want to exclude interns. So that's it. Another, I want you to understand this really, and that's why I have a few examples prepared for you. This is one of them. I want you to optimize your search on LinkedIn. So this is the example I'm just showing right now on the screen. Adding different names, adding different modifiers, and just want to give you like 2 seconds just to see what's wrong with this string and how you could really optimize this search. Because this you can see on the screen is definitely wrong. So seconds for you to realize what you can change and what you can improve here. A lot of words and there's a lot of phrases that we need to organize somehow, because as you see that the first string is this organized. Below is the example what you can do with this string to make it successful. First of all, use parentheses in order to organize your string. So that's first. If you put a lot of or in the middle of your Boolean, always remember to add parentheses, like here, account manager or relationship manager or client service manager, closed. These parentheses. Then we're adding additional criteria. That's why we're adding and. But again, you can see that in the brackets you can see additional or modify. That's why again we are adding the parentheses. So PR or marketing or public relations. And social media, so the third criteria. So this is how you need to use these modifiers. If you use or, please remember, and if you use many ors in one string, please remember to add parentheses. And if you are looking for exact phrase, always add quotation marks. And if you want to add additional criteria, always remember to add and modifier. So these are 3 key takeaways I want you to have from today's session. Okay, I prepared a few exercises for you. This is the second. Good news is the last one. So if you look at this phrase, how do you rewrite the search string to get the best results? The project manager or PM and social media. And this is the wrong. So my question once again to you will be just to think about 15 seconds how you can improve this string. So you can use your Boolean modifiers properly, so then to get the most results from LinkedIn. Okay, I'm seeing answers, so that's correct. Yeah, exactly. So your answers in the chat box. That's the answer. Yes. So absolutely agree with you. Just remember about the order. Remember why we need these 5 modifiers, which is for expanding your search and which is for narrowing your search. This is pretty short string, but really like I'm responsible for customers of Central and Eastern Europe, so I have like a huge portfolio of big customers. And to let you know that the biggest companies, like also the staffing companies, they use pretty long strings. So the strings can be like five times longer than this one. If you want to be very successful, that's just the beginning. So this is just to let you know how to use this tool, how to use the Boolean string. But if you specify the candidates you're looking for, if you identify that the real prospect, the ideal candidate for your organization, play with the words, try to play with Boolean, because this is the most powerful search tool that's available on LinkedIn. So I got pretty many good answers, so that's well done. Thanks also for sharing your answers in the chat. Okay, so next piece is dedicated to how to organize your work and collaborate. And Boolean search is just, as I mentioned, the most effective and the most successful search tool on LinkedIn. But still, I want to also encourage you to put more efforts on organizing your work and also collaborate with your colleagues, because that's the key to success. So slides on this. I hope that your desk doesn't look like this, because LinkedIn is not dedicated to this kind of chaos. LinkedIn rather are created to organize your work and help you to never forget a lead. So I'm giving you 3 tips, guys, right now, how to organize your work using the tools that are available in your LinkedIn Recruiter tool. So first of all, if you haven't used Update Me, this pretty star icon before, please check this out. That's a very useful functionality available in LinkedIn Recruiter, and it helps you to follow the candidates that's interested in for a job opportunity in your organization. So basically, if you want to follow someone, you want to know absolutely about everything about this prospect. Like if this person is changing the status, like the person might be changing the status to open to new opportunities, or the person is just adding new certification, you can get like prompt notification in your LinkedIn Recruiter. Just by clicking this star, you can really follow your prospects, and you can get immediately information that they changed something within their profiles. A second tip from me, this is a reminder. So once you talk to someone, once you talk to a prospect, and you want to schedule a call for next day or for next week, please add and use this tool. Reminders will help you to remember about activities that need to be completed. So you can reminder for next week. You can add reminder for 2 months, for example, that you need to follow up with some prospects. And of course, if to add someone to project, please also use this button, and you can share the projects with other colleagues so you can collaborate on this project. So as I mentioned, projects are also really important because they help you to organize your efforts. They reduce duplication of work and facilitate automation. So basically, please use projects, because they can just help you to be even more successful. And of course, projects are about bulk outreach, because if you can see all these people in one of your projects, you can select all or select multiple LinkedIn users and send one email. More, please remember also about this icon, about sharing your project with your colleagues. LinkedIn Recruiter is all about collaboration. Another few tips that you can use while working on your project and while working on your portfolio. Remember that there are a few functions available to you, like sources, so you can identify where you know the lead from. Statuses, the progress of a lead through the pipeline. So if you contact the prospect, just check that status. The same with tags. If you finalist, if you know best candidates from one project, you can also add them a label, so-called tags. So you can add tags that are referring to skills, experience, job roles, or attributes. So then it will be also easier for you to follow up and to understand more what happened before when you were talking to these people. You also track your activity, so this will also be shareable with your colleagues within one team. And of course, you can contact, so you can access personal contact information, so email address, for example, or a phone number if it's needed. So there's 5 elements you can also add in functions you can add to your LinkedIn recruiter. If we are talking about sources, statuses, and tags, these are the examples I'm sharing with you. So as you can see, tags and sources can be very different. It's just for you to help you to understand more and to track all activities within one tool. So then you can share this result and you can share all these activities with your colleagues. Okay, I start talking about next steps with your Boolean search. I want to make sure you have some questions or you have any questions to the modules that I covered before. Just want to know that there will be also huge in the end. If I have some very urgent questions you want to ask, please do. I am writing your question in the chat box right now. Like to ask very long questions, don't worry, we will still have enough at the end of this session. I just want to give you the full picture of the Boolean search by providing you with all my slides. So then we can have this open discussion and we can talk about more examples if needed. So if you have any questions, I will with my slides and with my presentations. So to give you even more insights, because my presentation is not about just me talking to you, it's rather about me sharing the best practices and helping you leverage your performance with LinkedIn Recruiter. Because believe me, Boolean is the most powerful search you can find on any platforms. And talking to also staffing companies, big staffing companies like Adecco or Manpower, they only use Boolean strings. So that's the first thing they work with. So talk about the Boolean strings and the next steps. We discussed what the Boolean strings are. We talked about 5 modifiers that will help you to narrow or expand your search. So you know how to write the phrase so the Boolean strings will work efficiently. Now I show you that basically the string is just the beginning, because you can use more filters, you can use more options on LinkedIn Recruiter to be even more efficient. Let me share with you this slide, Boolean strings. Before I shared with you a few examples just related to job titles. Now with this slide, I want to show you that you can use Boolean search strings for many reasons. For example, looking for contractors, looking for a temporary job, looking for a paid freelance, or just not like excluding someone. So with this slide, I want to show that the Boolean is so much powerful because you can use this functionality for different occasions, for different searches. It doesn't need to be related to just to job titles. It can be related to anything you are looking for, anything you are specifying for. So just to also inspire enough and showing you how much possibilities you have with your Boolean search strings. And so powerful because you can see if you add pretty long Boolean search strings into your keywords, you can be very successful because you're going to specify the exact candidates. I that you are using LinkedIn on a daily basis, and probably you're gonna quite often see similar faces, or you see people that are not really relevant to the search you are trying to search, because people using different names of the job titles, people use different keywords. And the main message I want to give you also today from this session is that if you want to be successful as a recruiter with LinkedIn Recruiter, you just simply break a code of a candidate. So if you are a recruiter, please try to think as you are a candidate. So once you are trying to find anyone, try to think about the keywords that are already on your profile. What kind of names and what kind of, or maybe the language you are using on your profile. Because if you understand your audience, that's why my first slides were related to audience. If you know pretty audience, then you can spell your search with your Boolean search strings. And these are the examples. Talking about next steps, that's why if you are successful with your Boolean string, as you can see one example here provided in keywords. If you have like quite long or quite successful Boolean search string, please remember about this sweet icon. It's just 3 dots, but they're also so powerful. This is the saved search. So if you put so much effort already to typing this search string, remember then to save search like this. Click on these dots, then you're going to see this option, save search, and your search will be saved. And once you save your search, remember to tick this box, because then you're going to add also search alerts to your saved search. It will also help you to monitor on a daily basis what happens with your search. Basically, LinkedIn is going to work for you because saved searches are created for you. This is automated systems that help that work for 24 hours per day. So whenever you close your lab and then switch on again next morning, so it will show you who appeared in your saved search. Like if there are more people coming with the skill set you are looking for, with strings put in your keywords, then I get more and more results every day. What's more, to this cute 3 dots, you're gonna see also the option about custom filters. Custom filters is again like next step of your Boolean search, because once this started with your Boolean search and you specify person you are looking for, you can, as you can see, more filters like locations, like years of experience, or custom filters, so you can narrow your search even more specifically. And custom filters, these are the filters that you can create on your own. If you want to add an advanced filter, you can do this. If you want to add a custom filter like salaries, for example, you already talked to some prospects and now their salary expectations. So create such custom filters. I mean, your admin can create this filter for you, so that will be accessible for all of you. So the custom filters are filters that you can create on your own. Okay. Last piece of today's session, 3 strategies. So I will show a bit longer strings. Longer strings, so to show you how you can be even more successful with them, or how you can put effort by writing this string but still getting more and more results. Here we go. 3 Boolean strategies, and this is about being creative. So if you're doing a Boolean search, please remember that you need to be very creative with the words you are using and also with your strategy that you are using. I am just giving you 3 examples of what you can do with your Boolean search. First is keyword on the job title. So basically you can rephrase your search by adding more keywords and job titles equivalents. Or I added over here typos. Yes, that's correct. Well, we are human beings, so we are all doing typos, and there's a lot of typos also on LinkedIn. Some of them are done purposely, some not, just because by mistake. So I'd like to let you know that in your sector, in your industry, I mean engineers and Java or programmers, there's a lot of people that are constantly contacted by candidates that are constantly contacted by recruiters that they purposely are doing typos in their profiles. So then it's harder for other recruiters to find them. This is a strategy our LinkedIn members are using at the moment because they don't want to be bombarded with an email. If you're using already your Boolean strategy, you can also add typos to your search string. So then you also identify those people who try to hide from you. So that's strategy. And I will provide more examples in the next slide. Second strategy will be all about job synonyms. So that's why I'm talking. I want you to be very creative with your Boolean search, because if you play enough with the words, if you add all synonyms, or for example, if you add all languages you are sourcing from, for example, let's say Russian, English, Polish, because for example, you are searching for one exact engineer from this region, for example, Russian-speaking countries. In Poland, let's say, plus looking at LinkedIn profiles, especially in Poland, they're mostly done in English. So if you can also add keywords or synonyms in these three languages, so then you can identify more people because it attracts people who are using 3 different languages on their profiles. So this is another hint that I can give you in terms of job synonyms. Adding synonyms and playing with words and playing with different languages, so attracting more people. And of course, exclusion. So that's the last strategy I want to offer to you. The exclusion narrow search by eliminating, for example, technology in your case, you are not looking for. Or, for example, like I shared before, like you want to eliminate interns, but because you want to focus on more advanced employees. First example about the strategy I was just talking about. So it's all about keywords and job titles and staying creative. Just look at this slide for a while. Words, there's a lot of keywords. And then first of all, in parentheses, because it's a long one. Second of all, it's pretty much a quote, because we're looking for exact phrases. And also, we are using a lot of or, because or expand our search. We're looking for net developer or net consultant and so on. More, if you adding your quote, if you add your phrase in quotation marks, first of all, it's gonna look for exact phrase, and second of all, the system will look for this phrase on entire LinkedIn member profile. So we will not search just for the job title like net developer, but we look for this phrase on entire LinkedIn members profile. So that you are also expanding your search. This is how you can expand your search just by playing with the words and playing with the keywords and job titles. And again, this is how you're gonna. This is what you're gonna see. So basically, .NET analyst or .NET developer, but it's or. So this expands your search. This modifier. That's why the result you're gonna see will be the 2 circles. The section, that's the job synonyms. For example, looking for contractors. You can play with the words, as you can see: contract, contractor, contracted, contracting, on assignment. So please use all the names that you think your candidates can use and can populate on your profiles. So then combine this information with different modifiers that are available for you, the modifiers, and for example, adding the skill sets. So stay creative, as I mentioned, and just use all these different phrases, different keywords, synonyms, because you can be even more efficient with them. And the third strategy, the last one, I want to inspire you and share this as a best practice. Use not. Not is also powerful because, like in this case, you can for account manager, and there's a lot of account managers also within recruitment. But for example, not looking for a recruiter right So this is you can eliminate some results from your search as well. Another example. And again, the visual expression for you to also understand the results you're gonna see on LinkedIn. So you're looking for account. Okay, sorry, it should be account manager. Account manager, but not recruiter. That's why you're gonna see just this part of account manager, but piece of your single circle about with account manager will be excluded, as you can see. Almost there. It's just the final slide I'm gonna share with you. Basically, we already talked about getting to know your audience. You know right now who is available on LinkedIn, the passive and the active candidates. You know all the 5 Boolean modifiers, and you know the examples I share with you. You know the next steps, what you can still do more with Boolean search, how you can add more filters, and how you can save your search. This is the very final insight I want to share with you, just to give an example what's going on in your industry. So I just generated a report. I wanted to show you the talent flows in your industry. That's the data for October 2017, so basically from the last month. I wanted to show you all your competitors in your region and show you the numbers. How many people globally left these companies and how many people joined these companies globally. Because also additional information you can use with also using your Boolean search string. You can, for example, add company names to your Boolean search string. You can add EPAM, add Cyclum. So this is also how you can define people. For example, from this slide, you can see that there's a huge amount of people are now leaving this company. So maybe a good moment also to contact these companies, contact the candidates from these companies, because it might be more interested in joining your company, Luxoft right now. Okay, so this is what I prepared for you. This is the full big picture I wanted to deliver to you about Boolean search. I know that, and I hope you have some questions on this. If I can do more for you, if I want to explain anything more, or if you have any follow-up questions, please just shoot me some questions into the chat box, and I'm going to answer your questions. In the meantime, I want to finish the recording, so then it will be very useful for your colleagues that couldn't really join us today. That's why we're going to start Q&A session in a minute, but for those people who need to leave for their meeting, or just for those who want to listen to us maybe on Monday or later this month, I want to say a huge thank you for this huge commitment from Luxoft side and huge sponsorship from your management in this program to Luxoft. So thank you, and talk to you soon, because there are more sessions prepared for you just for Luxoft exclusively. So this is how I want to say thank you, and I wish you the very best the rest of the day.